Hello, Harun. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, hi Mohammed. Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good as well. Thank you so much for joining this podcast and hope you are going to share an amazing insight about your journey to the audience. All
Yeah,
right.
thanks for
So,
having me. Yeah.
all right. The first one is, can you introduce yourself and what you do in your daily life?
Yeah. So I'm Harun Rashid Basheer. I'm working as a data engineer with Hitachi Solutions. I'm working with a team called Empower. So we are a product team. We develop a product called Empower. So my work revolves around like building data pipelines, that is scalable data pipelines, developing Python and Spark-based solutions, and integrating multiple data sources to ensure the seamless data ingestion and processing. And also, I'm a Microsoft MEP in data platform, as you know, and
Yeah,
I lead the Chennai Databricks community user group as well, where I organize meetups and share knowledge on this data technologies.
yeah. I have seen you are doing an amazing job. You are visiting so many colleges and inspiring students to do a lot more. That's an amazing one.
Thank you.
Okay. So, how did you start your career in tech and what led into the current role?
Okay, so I'm from a non-CS background. I'm a core triple E guy. Okay, but
Oh,
yeah, I started my career as a ETL developer. I began my career with a ETL tool called Ab Initio. Okay, so
okay.
then I evolved myself in the technology with SQL, Python,
Mm,
then Azure Data Factory, Databricks. Everything happened within the first 2 years of my career. So then I
mm,
got to know data engineering is the new thing, or data engineering is going to be the
mm.
new scope. So I learned and implemented, did some hands-ons, everything. Then I started my career in big data engineering, cloud data, all those things.
Okay. Okay, that's amazing. So mostly non-technical people started in technical side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does a typical day look like in your industry and in your role?
Okay, so the typical day will be like usually a mix of coding and problem solving, and also collaboration with the team. I spend my time writing mostly on this PySpark codings,
Mm,
also optimizing some Spark jobs and building some data pipelines in Azure Data Factory. So that is my major part of day. Then, along with that, collaboration with the team, discussions, all those things will be there.
yeah, that's an amazing thing. So you're doing a lot of Python work here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting question. What are the key skills that have helped you succeed in the tech industry in your business domain?
Okay, so it might be like it might sound silly, but I would say like the key skill is SQL and Python. That might be very basic, right?
Yeah,
But that is the key skill that everyone should know, because when you
yeah,
learn any one programming language thoroughly, it will give you the idea about how to break the larger problem into smaller problem and solve it. So
mm,
with Python and SQL, I learned that thing. So I would say like Python and SQL is the key skill that everyone should know. Even if you are a data engineer or a UX designer or whatever you are working in an IT
okay.
industry, learn any
Uh-huh.
one programming language. So I
Hmm.
prefer Python because that is easy to learn. So
Yeah,
Python and SQL.
okay. Python and SQL is kind of mandatory these days,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's amazing. And now, how is technology, especially like these days, are buzzword like AI and agentic AI kind of thing, and also the automation part, which is going on with the help of ChatGPT and all. Is there any effect on your industry or in your job role for this kind of enhancement?
Yeah. So I haven't seen any kind of things affecting my job role, but what I did is as an individual person and also as an individual community contributor, without
Mm,
AI, I cannot survive, because if you simply open LinkedIn today, you will see
mm.
hundreds of posts like AI, right? Without AI, you
Yeah,
cannot end your day. So what I did is
true.
I learned AI on my own and I started implementing. I created a few AI projects as well, where I use a
Mm-hmm.
AI model, foundation model, or I fine tune a existing model, creating a RAG for the model. Those kind of things I'm implementing on my own and exploring it. So whenever possible or wherever needed, I'm deploying that in my work also.
Oh, that's great. So is there any specific reference where you have learned all these things, or you just learned from self-learning itself?
Self-learning, and also the main thing is have gone through this Google's transformer architecture, because that is a foundation for all these models, right? So I have gone through the few YouTube videos for the transformer architecture. Then I gone through the Azure Foundry Studio. So
Yeah.
there we have a lot
Hmm.
of models, how to deploy, everything is there.
Yeah.
Then we have our friend ChatGPT. So if you have
Yeah.
any doubts, technical doubts, you can ask him. So he will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously. So even we don't need a kind of paid version of ChatGPT. The free version itself can help us a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Free version itself. It's kind. If you want to do some kind of a conversation with your colleague, right? So
Hmm.
I'm doing a remote job. Sometimes I go to office. Sometimes, most of the time, I do a remote job.
Hybrid.
So those
Okay.
timings, right? My colleague is my chat GPT. So if I got stuck somewhere, I have some technical issues, or errors or like those things. Chat GPT is there to
Hmm.
help me with the free version itself.
Yeah, yeah. That will be helpful for those who are watching these videos actually. Do you have any YouTube video or blog post which you are maintaining?
Yeah, so I don't have a separate YouTube channel for myself, but I'm planning to do one. I got inspired from you. Soon I will start one. But I'm maintaining a blog page in Medium as well as in C Sharp site, and also
Okay.
I write in LinkedIn sometimes.
Okay, then we'll add those reference in our description video here so that
Yeah,
viewers
sure.
can actually get knowledge from your things, what you're posting on the social media.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, definitely.
Okay. So the next thing here is what is the common misconception people have about your field and the use of technology? These days, people are using multiple things.
Mhm.
So they may be afraid of the jobs and all. So what is the main misconception they have these days in your point of view?
Okay, so the main misconception I say, whenever we say data engineering, right? People will think like, okay, data engineering means what? Moving data from point A to point B. That's it, right? So within that,
Yeah.
data engineer work is done, but it's not like that, right? Data engineer
Yeah.
needs to build a scalable data pipeline. They need to take care of the data governance, security, real-time
Mm.
processing. Everything is there, okay? And also people
Yeah.
think like, okay, data engineering means there is no need of learning programming. So I can simply
Ah.
drag and drop and do some stuff, but it's not like that. So you should
Mm.
be a core programmer here, because then only you can create optimized pipelines. So all those things are there, but the one misconception is like no programming, because see, people started marketing their courses like that, right? So they're saying
Yeah.
that no coding knowledge is needed. You no need to code.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are afraid of code, come to data field, data analyst or data engineering. But it's not like that.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
should be a hardcore coders, then only they can be a
Mm.
hardcore data engineers.
Okay. If they want to pursue a career in these data engineers, like Python and SQL itself is enough for them. Is there any additional thing which they need to learn?
No, I'll say like Python and SQL is a prerequisite. Like they should be
Mm.
strong in Python and SQL. Then data
Okay.
engineering, actual data engineering starts with Spark architecture. So they need to be strong
Mm.
on Spark and any one cloud, so that with Python and SQL they can move on.
So they can be familiar with AWS,
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
Cloud, or Azure, anything, or Snowflake kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. They need any one cloud, because to store the data and to get the computing resource, they need any one cloud. So if they have
Mm.
those two things, then they can start their code in PySpark or Scala, or in whichever language they are comfortable. Then they do
Mm.
their magic in the data.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So where do you see your industry and the role on the tech evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? This is going to be an
Uh,
interesting one
mhm.
because people are afraid about their job security and all. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what's your point of view on this?
See, I see data engineering becoming more automated and AI driven, because,
Mm.
as you already said, everything is on AI, right? So there won't be any risk for the job, I will say, because there won't be any risk if at all you are on the right path, because you need to accompany with the AI. You should not say like, I'm a data engineer, I will not learn AI, because
Mm.
someone else will replace you with the AI knowledge.
Okay.
AI will not
So we need
replace
to
us.
upgrade ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. AI will not replace us, but other
Mm.
person with the AI knowledge will replace us. So
Yeah,
if we
that's
understood
interesting.
that, yeah, then we are safe.
Exactly. So we need to keep on learn ourselves and then upskill ourselves. to stay
Exactly.
ahead in the industry.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, because going forward without EA is really hard to survive, like rightly pointed out.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing here is like, as you have a lot of experience, like 10 years of experience almost in the various industries. So what you will suggest if someone is starting up their career right now, like in 2025, they are college pass out, and which direction they want to go? If it has to be in a different direction, like data engineer or data analyst or data science, which one, how will you prefer to them?
Okay, so people coming out of college, they cannot decide like whether I will work only on data engineering or I will work only on data analyst. They cannot decide, right? Because company decides. So I would suggest the same. Let them learn SQL and Python first. Be strong
Mm.
on the foundation. The
Yeah,
fundamentals should be very strong. Then, based on the opportunity that they are getting, whether data analyst role or data science role or data engineering role, they can implement
yeah,
this foundation there, Python and SQL. If they're data
uh,
analyst, they are going to do some SQL operations over there and create
definitely.
a chart out of it. Data engineer,
Correct.
right? They are going to write the Python code. Data scientist,
Mm.
again, Python, Pandas, and other libraries they are going to use. So, whatever the data role is, the students should have Python and SQL knowledge. Then, based on the
Yeah.
opportunity, they can learn.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Wherever you go, Python and SQL is the base.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think
Those are
education
like
institution need to
two eyes, right?
mandatory.
One eye is a Python, one eye is a SQL. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's right. So in that case, if college pass out, the people they are if they learn these things in the college itself, it will be better for them to get a quick placement in the industries, right? Or else they need
Yeah.
to get out of the college and then they need to take separate course and learn. But if they do simultaneously in the final year as a kind of project and all, it will be helpful for them.
Exactly, as you
That's
said. But nowadays, what they are thinking is Python and SQL. They are keeping aside, and they are saying that the man companies are looking for DSA. So I will work on DSA. I will learn the hardcore DSA. But my question is, what you are going to do by learning the theoretical concept of DSA? If you don't know Python, how you will implement
yeah,
the DSA and check your level? So they need to know the programming language. Then they should learn what is DSA and implement DSA in Python, implement DSA in some other programming language. So they should learn the program, then go for a DSA.
okay. Just for my audience, can you elaborate what is DSA means?
So this data structures and algorithm, right? That is the buzzword. So if you
Okay.
see any man company course providers, they will say that we are here to teach you DSA. Okay. So they are there to teach you DSA, but they can teach you only DSA. If you know
Yeah.
programming language, Python, so the
Mm.
DSA is an approach, how to approach a problem. Okay. So if
Yeah.
you have a problem, you need to solve it. To solve that, you need a programming language, because with the programming
Correct.
language only, you are going to write that solution. So be
Correct.
strong on Python, learn
Mm.
DSA, integrate these two things, then
Mm.
everything is fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's an amazing thing. So now the last which some people think about, like we discussed right now, is we can use the chat GPT and all.
Hmm.
If we need to use AI, then why should I need to learn SQL and Python? I can get help from this chat GPT AI tool itself.
Yeah, yeah, good
So
question.
what's your
Yeah.
point on that?
So I can ask ChatGPT to write a program, right? But
Yeah.
ChatGPT doesn't know the full context of what my project is of. Even though if
Yeah.
you try hard to give the all the context of your project, everything. So one thing
Mm.
is major thing is security. So you
Yeah.
cannot reveal everything to ChatGPT, right? So if at
Yeah.
all you got stuck somewhere, you couldn't able to understand the concept, or you got what kind of implementation I should do here. Those things you
Mm.
get help from ChatGPT. You
Correct.
cannot or you should not depend on AI right from the
Mm.
scratch.
Correct.
Then what will
That's
happen is
valid.
you will every time you will be dependent on ChatGPT only, right? For example,
Correct.
today you might be dependent on ChatGPT for creating one data frame. After 10
Mm.
years also, you will be depending on some other AI tool for creating the same data frame.
Exactly. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a valid point as well. And to add on to this one, this is the AI-generated one. It can make mistakes. So if we are not
exactly,
aware of this thing, then how can we validate whether the results are correct or wrong? Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
really an amazing insight. Yeah, so that's it from my side, Harun. So it's really amazing to get insight from you. So about your industry and what you're doing on a daily basis, and also the input what you are given. It really helps the college fresh out how they can gear up their career in the tech industry. So thank you so much for your valuable time, and hope we can combine again in the next future videos in my channel.
Sure, sure, Nan. Thanks for the invite. Definitely, we will technically connect and do some technical videos in future in your channel.
Yeah, definitely, sure.